and gentlemen, welcome to the Verb Circus. Yes, my name is A la grúa. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Verb Circus. My name's Kyle Miller, and I'm joined by two great guests today in our third program. First, we have Jennifer. How are you, Jennifer?
I'm fine. I'm very excited.
Good, and you're doing a great job on the show. Are you having fun on the Verb Circus?
Yes.
Good. It looks like it. And over here we have Jermaine. How you doing, Jermaine?
I'm good, Kyle. I'm having a blast here.
You're having a blast. Okay, so what's going to happen today, Jermaine? Are you going to pick up a few more points?
Yes.
All right. Let's see how they do. Let's take a look at our scores before we get started and see how they're doing. Here we have Jennifer with 220. That's a great score, Jennifer. Yes, and Jermaine with 25 points, but catching his rhythm. I have a feeling you're going to do better today.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see how they do, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this show on the road. All right, I already introduced her, but I'll go back to Jennifer for just a moment. You're having fun, Jennifer. You're doing a great job. We were talking about food before the show, and you're telling me about your favorite kind of food. What is your favorite kind of food?
Chocolate, maybe.
Chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
And you were specific. You said dark chocolate.
Yes.
Better than milk chocolate for you?
Yes, better.
Why do you like dark chocolate so much?
Because it's not so sweet.
Okay, all right. Very good. And Jermaine, what's your favorite kind of food?
I like everything pretty much, but I like meatballs.
Yeah, albondigas. Meatballs.
Albondigas, yeah.
But do you cook your own?
Yes, I cook my own, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Have your own meatballs. Spaghetti?
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Good stuff. All right. Okay, well, we've already seen our scores. The only thing left to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to choose our verb of the day. Our verb of the day. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look at that. To depend. To depend. Can you conjugate this one for us?
Every day I depend.
Yeah?
Yesterday I depend.
I depended.
I depended.
Yeah.
And lately I've depended.
Exactly. It is a regular verb. Every day I depend. Yesterday I depended. And lately I have depended. So it's a regular verb. Remember, adding the extra syllable, depended in the past. Okay, so let's take a look at our meanings. We have depender, to depend. For example, something depends on something else. And I want you to always remember to depend on. This is very important. So can you repeat after me, Jermaine? It depends on the weather.
It depends on the weather.
Okay. One more time.
It depends on the weather.
Okay. And now to you, it depends on the boss.
It depends on the bus.
On the boss, el jefe, the boss.
On the bus.
The boss.
The
Not the
boss.
bus, but the boss. Again?
It depends on the bus.
Yeah, so this is important. It depends, with an S, on. It depends on. It depends on the budget.
It depends on the budget.
Yes, el presupuesto, the budget. It depends on who you ask.
It depends on who you ask.
One more time.
It depends on who you ask.
Good. And remember, at home, always repeat, at home, it depends on who you ask. I hear so many mistakes with this. Muchos errores con esto. It's very important. It depends on. Okay, and remember, please remember, one more reminder, remember the use of the preposition on. So what does, Jermaine, what does the way people dress, what does that depend on?
Depends on the weather, I think.
Exactly.
It depends on the weather.
So you can say the way people
right.
dress, give me a full sentence.
The way that people dress, it depends on the weather.
Now you can't say the it again. The way people dress
Depends on the weather.
Yeah, one more time.
I got it. The way that people dress depends on the weather.
Okay, now for you at home, the way people dress depends on the weather. Sure. Okay, What does making progress with your English depend on?
It depends on how much time I spend learning English.
Again, sorry, repeat.
It depends on the time I spend studying English.
Yeah, it depends on, exactly. And for everyone, your progress with English depends on how much time you study. What else does it depend on, Jermaine? Your progress with English, it depends on how much time you study. What else does it depend on?
It depends on how much time do you practice.
How much time you practice.
You practice.
It depends on how much time you practice. What else does it depend on?
It depends on.
It depends on how much you listen,
Yes.
right? So it depends on how much you practice. Learning English depends on how much you practice. It depends on how much you listen. It depends on how much you study. It depends on how much effort you make. So it depends on a lot of things. It depends on tu esfuerzo personal, right? Your personal effort. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what does winning here on the Verb Circus, what does winning on the Verb Circus depend on? Jennifer?
It depends on luck.
It depends on luck, and it also depends on
Points.
on your points and how well you do with the translations and all the questions. So remember, it depends on. Okay, it depends on. It's a mistake I hear all the time. So let's move on now. I think you've got it down pat. I think you've got it without any problems. Let's move on now to the translation challenge. All right, here we are in the translation challenge, ladies and gentlemen. Vas a ver las frases en español en pantalla y 3 opciones en inglés. Y tú en casa tienes que elegir la traducción correcta para ganar 5 puntos. Here, 5 points. Are you ready? Are you guys ready? Both of
Yes.
you?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay, they're ready. Okay, let's hear number 1.
Ella todavía depende de su madre.
Okay, option A, she still depend on her mother. B, she still depends to her mother. And C, she still depends on her mother. You got 5 seconds. Do you know the answer?
Yes, we know.
5 seconds, all right. We'll go to Jennifer first.
Sí.
She says C. Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Jermaine? Okay, can you read it for us, Jermaine?
She still depends on her mother.
She still depends on. So she, third person singular, depends with the S. Preposition on, present simple. Good, correct answer for 5 points. She still depends on her mother. Okay, let's hear number 2.
Depende de si hay entradas o no.
That's right. Do you want to go to the concert? Bueno, depende. A, it depends on whether there are tickets or not. B, it's depend if there are tickets or not. And C, it depends on whether there are tickets or no. You have 5 seconds. Okay, he got it. At the last minute there, he got his answer. Jermaine, he's ready. What have you got for us, Jermaine? What's the answer? He says it's A. Okay, a bit of hesitation, but he's got the A. And Jennifer?
A.
A bit more confident, but also with the A. Do you feel more comfortable now, Jermaine?
Yeah.
He feels more comfortable because Jennifer gets them almost always right, it seems. Good job. That's good for 5 points. And 5 points to you at home. Good job. But I need you to read that for me, Jermaine. Can you read it?
Yeah, it depends on whether there are tickets or not.
Exactly. It depends. Never it's depend. Eso no se dice. Okay, let's go to number 3.
Antes dependía del tiempo.
Okay. A, before it's depend on the weather. B, it used to depend on the weather. And C, it used to be depending on the weather. All right, ding goes the bell. And we'll start with Jennifer. What do you think, Jennifer?
B.
B, okay. Do you agree with her on this one?
Ah, sí, sí. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, he says B. Now at home, do you agree with them? Do you agree with Jermaine and Jennifer about B? I hope so, because they've got the right answer for 5 points. Jennifer, can you pronounce this for us?
Yes. It used to depend on the weather.
It used to, yeah. And here, there's no S. Why? Why is there no S here, Jennifer? On depend.
Because it follows to and not a subject.
Exactly, and we're talking about the past here. It's not present. It's not the present. It used to depend. It used to depend on the weather in the past. Okay, good job. That's good for 5 points. Let's move on now to number 4.
Depende de lo que quieras.
Okay. A, it depends what you want. B, it's depend on what you want. And C, it depends on what you want. Okay, this is kind of think of a sort of a colloquial way people would say this. Imagine you're out on the street. Well, Jermaine, what do you think?
It depends what you want.
Depends what you want. Okay. And
A
she
too.
has A as well. Are you sure about that one?
Yes.
Okay, they're both sure. And they're both right for 5 points. It depends what you want. Of course, at home, some people are probably saying, and the on? ¿Y el on? ¿Dónde está? Well, you could also say, it depends on what you want. But very often when people are speaking quickly, they simply say, well, it depends what you want. But always with that S, it depends in the present. Okay, great job. Well done. 5 points each there. Good job at home. Let's take a look at our scores now here. Finishing round 1 of the translation challenge, and we've got Jennifer with 240. Great total, Jennifer. Good job. And Jermaine with 45 points. Moving up again. Poco a poco, right?
Getting there.
Getting there little by little. Good job. All right, let's move on now to our other uses. Here we have in our other uses the word dependable and also reliable. Basically the same, to be dependable or to be reliable. Someone you can trust is dependable. So ask Jennifer if she's a dependable person.
Are you a dependable person?
Yes, of course, I'm a dependable person.
Okay, so if you're a dependable person, what does that mean? Your friends can,
Rely on me.
they can rely on you. Her friends can rely on her because she's a reliable person or she is a dependable person. Okay. Ask me if I think Jermaine is a dependable person.
Do you think Jermaine is a dependable person?
Yeah. What does she want to know?
She wants to know if you think that I'm a dependable person.
Yes, I think Jermaine's a dependable person. I think he's a reliable person. I think we can rely on him. Do you think we can rely on him?
Yes, I think we can rely on him.
Okay, all right. I think he's a reliable person or a dependable person. Very good. Now, our next use we have is a dependence, which is like an addiction, a dependence. So some people have a dependence on, ask me if I have a dependence on caffeine.
Do you have a dependence on caffeine?
I think so. I think here filming the Verb Circus, I've developed a dependence on caffeine. I drink so much coffee, I've developed a dependence. Do you have a dependence on caffeine?
No, I don't have a dependence on caffeine.
Okay. I'm just exaggerating, but it's quite possible to have a dependence on something, right? A dependence. It's like to rely on something too much and have an addiction. Right, Jermaine?
Yeah.
All right. I think you've done a good job. I think you understand all these uses. And you at home, thanks for following along. I think we're ready to move on to round 2 of the translation challenge. All right, friends, here we are in round 2 of the translation challenge, and the challenge is the same. El reto es igual, pero ahora en vez de 5 puntos, what's the difference? We have now
10
10.
points.
10 points, exactly 10 points on the line for every single question. All right, let's hear number 1.
Depende de si me llama o no.
Okay, option A. It depends of whether he calls me or not. And B, it depends of if he calls me or not. And C, it depends whether he calls me or not. Okay, the use of the preposition. If you know these prepositions, if you're comfortable with that, you shouldn't have too much trouble. What have you got for us, Jennifer?
Sí.
She says it's C. All right. She's going with C. And Jermaine,
I agree.
C as well. It's usually a good idea to agree with Jennifer, don't you think?
Yeah,
Usually
definitely.
it pays to agree with Jennifer. And it does right here because they got 10 points. Good job. Can you read it for us, Jennifer, please?
It depends whether he calls me or not.
Yeah, it depends whether he calls me or not. I'd like to go to the game with him, but it depends whether he calls me or not. Good. Okay, let's hear number 2.
Probablemente dependerá de un número de factores.
A. It will probably depend on a number of factors. B. It will depend on a number of factors. And C. It will depend to a number of factors. All right. Jermaine's got his answer in there. He pulled it quickly. Are you sure about it, Jermaine? He's thinking, very pensive. What have you got for us, Jermaine?
A.
A, he says. All right. And Jennifer?
8.
Jennifer says A as well. That's a good sign.
All right.
All right. And the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, at home is A. Good job. 10 points for each of you. Can you read it for us, Jermaine?
It will probably depend on a number of factors.
Yes, on a number of factors. It will probably depend on a number of factors. Great. All right, let's hear example number 3.
¿De qué crees que dependerá?
A. What do you think it's going to depend of? B. What do you think it will depend on? And C. Of what do you think it will depend on? You have 5 seconds. All right, Jennifer, she's got her answer.
B.
She says it's B. Can you pronounce it for us?
What do you think it will depend on?
Okay, and Jermaine?
B.
B. Can you say it as well?
What do you think it will depend on?
Good, and it's a question, so what do you think it will depend on? Correct, that's good for 10 points. Good job. Hopefully, remember, you're following along at home. What do you think it will depend on? Okay, let's move on to number 4.
Depende de cuando termines.
Okay. A. It's depend on when you finish. B. It depends on when you finish. And C. It depend when you finish. All right, they've got their answers quickly. And Jermaine, he's got his. He seems confident with B. All right. Are you sure about that one, Jermaine?
Yes, I'm sure.
He's sure about it with that big smile. Okay, good. I hope you're right, Jermaine. And
B.
Yeah.
B, and they both say B. That's a good sign. Hopefully at home you also have B, because that's the right answer. Good job. B, it depends on when you finish. So can you read it for us? Can you read it for us, Jennifer?
It depends on when you finish.
It depends on when you finish. It depends on when you finish. One more time.
It depends on when you finish.
Okay, and now at home, it depends on when you finish. It depends on. Very good. So remember, if you're practicing with all these examples, you should never make mistakes with this verb again, because it's very clear, right? We've given a good explanation. So good job at home. Thanks for following along. Let's take a look at our scores with our 2 contestants here today and see how they're doing. Here we have Jennifer with 280. Wow, great score, Jennifer. Great job. And Jermaine moving up as well with 85
I'm
points.
back.
Not bad. He is back. He's coming back, right?
He's back.
Poco a poco, little by little. All right, let's move on now to our expression of the day. All right, our expression of the day is very simple. It's something we've been talking about all along. Quite simply, it depends. It depends. We very often say, well, it depends. It depends. So, are you going to win the verb circus? So give me it depends as an answer. Now, the whole thing, the grand prize, are you going to win it, Jennifer?
Well, it depends.
It depends. That's right. So grammatically, we should say it depends on, it depends on whatever. But very often we just say, just like in Spanish, well, it depends. All right. Is Real Madrid going to win the league this year, Jermaine?
I think they're gonna win everything.
Okay. But using our expression, well,
It depends
It depends.
It depends on Mourinho's
It depends.
decisions.
It depends on a lot of things. Is our expression, well, it depends. It depends. All right, okay, great job, guys. It's time to move on now to the speed round. All right, here we are in the speed round, ladies and gentlemen. This is the fastest part of the show, the biggest challenge. This is where you can gain points, pero aquí también restamos puntos por tus errores. So you have to be careful. Pay attention to the information on the screen y tienes que formar una pregunta pidiendo la información que sale en rojo en pantalla. Okay? The first round will be 2 minutes, and remember, not to answer the question, or ask, I should say, the question, until you hit the buzzer. All right, let's get 2 minutes up there on the clock. 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we've got it. 2 minutes, and we'll start the clock. He depends on her because he doesn't have a job. Go. Jennifer.
Why does he depend on her?
Repeat, please.
Why does he depend on her?
Correct. Why does he depend on her? Remember, we need a question intonation. Why does he depend on her? Good job. Next example. He's been depending on her for 3 years. Go. Jermaine.
Oh. For how long has he him
Yeah, I'm afraid not. -10. Pass or play, Jennifer. Pass or play.
How long has he been depending on her?
Correct. How long has he been depending on her? How long? Good job. 10 points for Jennifer. Next example. The most dependable ones are in the warehouse. Go. Jennifer.
Who are the most dependable ones?
I'm afraid not. -10. Jermaine, pass or play. In
I'll
the
play.
warehouse. Okay.
Where are the most dependable ones?
Correct. That's good for 10 points. Well done, Jermaine. Where are the most dependable ones? They're in the warehouse. Okay, next example. I started depending on them in the late 90s. Go. Jennifer.
When did you start depending on them?
Correct. Repeat.
When did you start depending on them?
Good. When did you start depending on them? Good job for 10 points. Next example. We depend on the central server. Go. Jermaine.
What do you depend on?
No, I'm afraid not. -10. The central server. Pass or play?
Play. Which server do you depend on?
Correct. That's good for 10 points. Which server do you depend on? Next example. The process depends on the water being cold. Go. Next example. Go ahead.
What does the process depend on?
What does the process depend on? Good job. Correct. That's good for 10 points. Whew, right before the bell. Very intense. Very intense. I'm getting hot here. It's very intense. Let's take a look at our scores here after the first 2 minutes. 320. Oh my goodness. That's a great score, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Great score. And Jermaine with 75 points. But ladies and gentlemen, it's not over yet. We've got another minute of the speed round left. So let's put up another minute. Let's put up another minute on the clock. And we're going to continue. Okay, are you ready, guys?
Yes.
We are ready.
They're ready to go. We've got our time on the clock. And let's go. We depend on John for our shipments. Go. Jennifer.
Who do you depend on for your shipments?
Correct. Repeat it one more time. Question intonation.
Who do you depend on for your shipments?
Good. It could be your or our, but correct. Who do you depend on for your shipments? Or who do we depend on for our shipments? Very good for 10 points. Next example. It all depends on how much money we have left. Go. Jermaine.
It all depends on how much money we have left.
Quickly.
In what? No.
No, I'm afraid not.
left,
Pass or play. -10. Pass or play.
Play.
Jennifer.
What does it all depend on?
Correct. What does it all depend on? 10 points. Good job. What does it all depend on? Next example. They depend on the blue one. Go. Jermaine.
On which one do they depend?
Okay, correct. On which one do they depend, or more commonly, which one do they depend on? If you say on which one do they depend, it's okay. I prefer which one do they depend on, but I'm going to give you the points there. Okay, so well done. Correct answer, Jermaine, right before the bell. Let's take a look at our scores and see where they stand here. We've got Jennifer with 340 points.
Got 10 more.
340 points, and Jermaine moving up a little bit with
85.
With 75. No, that's correct.
Oh.
75 points. Good job. Great totals. And they've done a great job today, and I want to thank you for watching and participating. Remember, always participate out loud, and take a look at our website right here, aprendeingles.com. Podéis volver a concursar aquí mismo en nuestra página web con las mismas preguntas del programa de hoy. I have some prizes, as always, for our contestants. They've done a great job. A few CDs, and I'm going to head over there and give them these right now. All right, good job. Very well done, Jermaine. Good stuff. They've done a great job today, and our contestants will be taking home the Verb Circus in audio CD, courtesy of our friends at Vaughan Radio. You can get your copy today at vaughantienda.com. This is 20 programs, 10 hours of content in MP3 format. Great
Thank
job.
you very much.
You're very welcome. Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks to them for participating. They've been great, and they'll be back tomorrow. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Verb Circus.